for naming it. So, wonderful. Guess I'll go try and sort that out now. YouTube.
Yeah.
I haven't even checked.
Well, you can do it.
whether
I
the
think you
last
can
one
do
got
it. Last time I did it while the stream was already going in OBS.
Oh,
Like I edited the name in OBS while the stream was already started.
studio mode? Nope. What? Settings? Stream settings? Appearance? Stream? That's not where it is. Where did you change it, Matt?
Mine. So, channels, where it has channels, can you see like the YouTube channel and it says like your account that you're streaming to?
Don't see that window.
Okay.
Is it a window? Is it a, what is it? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a window.
Oh, no, I don't have that.
I'll put it in Telegram.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just uploading to Telegram. Also, I moved to MovieSpace, which is in the shed.
Broadcast channel.
is
Yeah, I
really
don't
nice.
have that. I don't know
But,
what that is. Yes, it looks nice.
Yeah. But the Wi-Fi is not great, so I need to redo some things with that. But there might be a bit more. Yep.
Okay, I found a thing called Restream Channels. Edit. Streaming currently.
I'm just going to call it
Events.
Comfort
Create
Zone.
new event post, I guess. And it is called... Yeah, what is it? Starting Podcast Episode 2? Or Never Leave Your Comfort Zone Episode 2?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Never Leave Your Comfort Zone.
We're going to edit later.
Matt. No, I'll say Matt. Matt's purpose. Never leave your comfort zone. Matt's purpose? Question mark? Okay, that's what I'm doing. That's what we've got. Save. And then edit this one.
Matt's purpose, never leave your comfort zone, all lowercase.
I did Matt's purpose question mark, never leave your comfort zone.
Okay, great.
Cool. Well, we've got excellent 0 viewers on both channels. That's good. That's what we want at this point in the process. And yeah, cool. And then I guess I'll make sure that the chat is visible in case someone does appear. There's also, we can get like a, we can look at this later, but it's like the chat appears here with any chat messages from both channels so people can see easily.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
So Matt, what didn't you do this week that would have contributed to you finding your purpose?
Well, I didn't leave my comfort zone, if that's what you mean.
Well, I mean, the important thing is like, what do you conceive that you could have done that you didn't do?
Oh, that's an interesting way to start. I've actually been a bit sick this week, which is a bummer because of sort of the way my life is set up. Everything works pretty well and I have to be at things at the right time and consistent. And so when I get sick, then everything kind of falls to pieces. So yeah, it's been a tricky week. And I think the underlying theme of all of our discussions have been that when I think about maybe like the hard things in my life, or when I have a hard moment, it's mostly about my purpose and about like my meaning and my identity. It might be triggered by other things, but what it comes down to at the end of the day is like, oh, I don't feel like this is meaningful, or I don't feel like this is purposeful, so therefore I'm sad.
Recording, my bad. I just pressed record on my
right.
video camera, but we've got that version.
That's okay. Oh yeah, I wasn't doing that either.
Oops. Well, quick transition into the high quality footage.
So this week we sort of emphasized that again to myself when I was physically sick and couldn't do the things that I wanted to be able to do, couldn't help as much with the kids, and I couldn't go to the office at work, so I was working from home, which is nice for some reasons, but it's harder because a lot of my day-to-day, if I can just chat to someone next to me or I can just walk over to someone, just done a lot quicker and easier. And there's less like ruminating. So I think what I kind of came back to though, because I had a week like that, is that my job wasn't exciting me out of that in a way that was like, oh, I'm sad that I'm missing at work, because like, to be honest, I hardly did any work and it doesn't really matter. Like, and so I kind of go, oh, that's handy because I will still get paid the same amount.
Yes.
And no one will sort of really know how little actual work I did.
Until they watch this.
So until they watch this, which, you know, if anyone from my offices happen to stumble across this, I will honestly laugh. And I'll just be like, well, you got me. That's fine. I'm just pleased that we're sort of being fed out to the world. So it kind of makes me go, oh, I want to find something where it actually feels like a purpose. It actually feels meaningful. And one thing I did have one moment this week where I was reading a book called Stolen Focus by Johann Hari. And it's all about sort of attention and digital interruptions and the world we live in and how it's shaping our brains and this kind of stuff. And one thing that he talked about was the idea that like technology and social media and the way things are is not the only way that it could be. So we kind of normally think, oh, for me to be more focused or to me to be kind of doing better, I need to get off social media. I need to get this tech out of my life because it's so distracting. Like, well, it's actually more nuanced than that because it's not technology in of itself. It's
the application of the technology.
The specific, exactly. And it's the fact that these specific technologies that Meta and Google and others are putting out are built to capture our attention infinitely and as much as possible. And so it was kind of initially depressing because it was like they're just capturing all this data. They know more about you than you can ever imagine. You know, when you have that creepy moment where you say something aloud and you've never said it to anyone and then you get fed an ad for that 5 minutes later, your phone's probably not listening to you. It actually just knows you so well.
It is. Apple got. It's because, at least Apple got. It's because Siri, I mean, maybe they can figure it out anyway, but Siri has to always be listening for you to say Siri.
Yeah.
And so
exactly.
Siri,
and that's why a little while ago, I turned on voice control for our Sonos. So you could just say, hey, play this song. And then a day later, I was like, oh, it just hears every conversation I have at home. I was like, okay, we'll turn that off. And actually, hilariously, I spoke to someone about that just after, and they were like, oh, no, it's great. I went back 3 years in my history of conversations, and I could figure out the first time my boyfriend came over. And it's like, I mean, that's kind of cool, but also all your conversations are held by some data center somewhere, and they're just being sold to. So anyways, for me, that was a bit affronting. But the thing that came up for me was the potential of more ethical options. And for the first time in a little while, I was like, oh, that's exciting. Like maybe there is hope.
So is this the part where you're looping back around to the answer to my question?
Yes.
Cool.
Sort of, but this is sort of something that I do.
I mean, adjacently and in that there's some kind of spark in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so then that came back around to, oh, maybe there's something there around kind of the ethics of technology or social media, and actually, no, this was what was most fascinating. I had a moment where I was like, all of the stuff I've been fed recently is really like hardcore right wing, just like intense stuff. And normally it's just like parenting memes and other stuff. And I was like, oh, 2 weeks ago, just around the corner from us, there was a Bad Apples event, which are like this company, there's like a clothing company that do these free drops. And they build up this audience of all these like teenage hoons. And so there was like 40 dudes riding motorbikes down the main street on the wrong side of the road. And it was like this big thing. There was fights and everything. But it kind of excited me for some reason. And so I kept watching videos of it. And I kept watching videos. And I was like, oh, that has then fed into my feed.
Yeah.
That now it's almost like it's like radicalizing me into that identity. And so I was like, whoa, that's scary, but I'm glad I've had that moment of clarity. I reckon there's something there about, this is the ethics of things. This is how things work. How can I communicate that to people?
Yeah.
Because a lot of my previous purpose discussions, like, I just need to be talking to people because that's what I enjoy. And people seem to appreciate my thoughts and ideas.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I didn't really answer your question because I didn't know how, but I just spoke for about 6 minutes about kind of other things.
It's also there are the two places we could. No, that's a starting place. The two directions we could take that. One, we could say, okay, what are the threads there of Spark that we could extrapolate as data?
Yep.
As an ongoing reference point. We could also say, what is the repetition of the pattern that's played out this week in the form of interest in particular directions, action in particular directions, and not others. And I think both are useful in their own way. The original question was what it was because we have to begin with why didn't things happen? Because there always could have been action in any direction. And so why did action happen in the directions it happened and not directions that you purport to be important to you and of course, like are important to you? But just saying this thing is important to me, but I did something else. Therefore, we need to explore what were the motivations at play in order to see how can we make motivations that are facilitative of the kind of actions that you want to take happen.
Yeah, well, because I think that the slight nuance to that discussion of the, doing what I don't want to do and not doing what I want to do is that the things, broadly speaking, that I don't want to do are my current job and probably spending too much time on social media.
Yeah.
The things that I do want to do, provide for my family, find purpose in my work, spend time with friends, and do something creative. And broadly speaking, like I sort of tick all four of those doing my current work, but not really. You know what I mean? So I think I say that to kind of, this is going to be a great episode, by the way, which is me just coughing my face off. And I sort of say that to kind of distinguish between, it's not like I'm deep in this rut where I'm like, oh, I'm not doing any of the things I want to do and my life is terrible. But I sort of sometimes go to that place because of the way I'm wired. Because I'm like, I want to find that deeper purpose and meaning. And actually, like sort of conversely, I had a moment today where I was, because basically partly, part of my job, my current job is to help keep up to date and make sure people are updating them correctly. But no one really listens and no one really does it, no matter how many times I remind them. And I was like, this is just terrible. Like, I hate this. And I don't want to tell people to update it because they'd never do. And no matter how many times I explain it to them, they'd never do it. So that was a clarifying moment of like, oh, okay, this is not the job for me.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, but I think those are a few things where it's like the current job actually it's not the antithesis of what I want to be doing. Because it does fulfill a few of those things that I want, right? But I think coming back to your initial sort of, we could go either way. On one hand, it's like building something for myself, like a company or some business where I can do what I really want to do. And it can be more of a creative pursuit, would be awesome. But also the day-to-day habits of finding more purpose and meaning, I think would hopefully lead there as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. The best thing to look at is, well, okay. We can always conceptualize many pathways of how things could or should work. What we generally don't do is think about the ways of doing things that will work. And we come up with an idea about, and that's not to say those ways won't work. It's more to say we have all of the information as of the moment when we conceptualize an idea of what could motivate us or a way of doing something. We have all of the information we need in that moment to know whether we will do it or not. And that is in the form of, does that feel like something I'll just go do? If the answer is no, then we haven't found a way that will work yet. So you're saying these things that I do want to do, these things that I don't want to do. There is a messy definition of want there, because at least there's a definition, and I'll say in certain ways an impractical definition of want, because really what you're expressing is there are certain things that I would say there are feelings of pull towards, and certain feelings that there are feelings of aversion towards, appetite towards, aversion towards. Except that this is where we get ourselves caught in knots when thinking about motivation and want, desire, choice, prioritization. We think in terms of Aristotle's acrasia, acting against your own better judgment. So I want this thing, but I want this thing, and I want that thing more, but I choose this thing instead. And so better judgment, that better thing that I feel I have appetite, desire towards, that I don't do, and yet I do this thing that is less meaningful to me. And that's where we get ourselves caught in knots, because we are trying to summarize a complex thing under a single header of appetite or aversion, where the reality is even that single thing isn't a single thing. When you say, I want to provide for my family, the form that provide for my family takes is going to work. So the task, the action is the anticipated state of being, as I call it, is work and being at work. And a piece, one of the meanings in work is providing for family, but you don't feel like you're going and providing for your family. You feel like you're going and you're going to work. And just there's a sub-piece of that is providing for family in terms of your experience of it. And so if we are delineating appetite and aversion, if we're delineating what do I want to do versus what I don't want to do, the definition that I think is most helpful and that we've spoken about is what I do. Yeah. And therefore, our job here is to make the actions that would be associated with pursuing purpose, the actions themselves feel appetitive enough, have enough appetite in them that the feeling that you feel when you think about the anticipated state of being of doing that action is, oh yeah, I want to go do that. Like the thing that I want to procrastinate work, which I feel aversive towards, for the sake of, is the thing that I want to do instead of doing work, procrastinate work. The thing that I want to use to procrastinate work, which I feel aversive towards, is these purpose pursuity activities.
Yeah.
And so then the part of the reason why I asked the original question, I suppose, of what didn't you do this week, is in pursuit of purpose, is to see, to surface what you think the actions of pursuing purpose would look like.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think partly because it's kind of been a terrible week.
Mm.
And I haven't actually had that much time to think about my purpose because I've been too busy, like,
Yeah.
being
And
sick.
there's no shame.
It's sort of been, no, exactly.
Be a justification either. Yeah, it's just like
no, but I think it's yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I guess in a way, I'm sort of coming back to what we briefly talked about last week, is not doing these actions to eventually get to the life you want, but to immediately be in the life you want.
Yes.
It's like, in some ways this week, I didn't spend any time feeling like I wasn't fulfilling what I wanted to do.
Yes.
Like in a way,
be less sick.
Exactly. So in a way I did.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was a completely different kind of thing that had to take its course. So, which is a funny way to start. And actually, I will need to hop off in 2 minutes. So I think this is an interesting way to start this and kind of step into, all right, what do I want to actually get towards? Because I think what I want is work that, like you say, very appetitive, is I want to feel like, oh, I can't wait to do that thing. And that thing to be also what provides me money so that I can look after my family in the financial sense. But that thing being the thing that provides me kind of what I need to feel at ease or at peace or at, purposeful.
Yeah.
So that then I can provide for my family and friends and things in other ways. So I can feel like, I don't need to spend this time trying to find my purpose, because it's sort of other things are kind of managing that. So I think it's going to be interesting.
The place we're landing is same at the end is the same place we landed last week as the summary of what we're doing. So I'll say exercise for the week, Matt, is anything that has any kind of like spark, energy, excitement in it. Even if it's something that you already identify as something that is meaningful to you, like family stuff or whatever. Find what's specifically in that. Try and observe what specifically in that is compelling. And we'll try and synthesize some of those pieces next week to see more nuance than just people like to be heard and listen to me.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Bye everybody.
See ya. Bye. Gotcha.
See ya.
Love you, Sam.
Love you, Matt.